everyone, and welcome to another Monday here on the channel for the Black Hood Crew. I am Darkness30XX of the Black Hood Crew. That's BHC underscore Darkness30XX. Name is there in the corner. By all means, follow along on YouTube and Facebook at the Black Hood Crew. Twitch, Twitter, Steam at BHC underscore Darkness30XX. And let's go ahead and get going. Today is Monday. What is today's date? The 17th. Monday, January 17th of 2022. And it's another Monday. It's been kind of cold lately here in South Florida, which means winter showed up, but just as quickly, it's over. Given the fact that right now it's 75 degrees, but it feels even more humid than that because it's been raining. So it's never going to be okay here. It's always going to be hot, humid, just muggy all around. Winter shows up, it's off for 3 seconds. Person driving entirely too slow for their own good. Yeah, it's just been kind of iffy on the weather lately. Cold one day, hot the next, rainy. But then again, it's just the weather in South Florida. It's typical. Huh. Car in front of me has the Amazon logo. Actually says Amazon in their rear windshield, like facing out. And it's a decal on the inside of the glass, so maybe they work for Amazon? Maybe. But hey, what do I know? Yeah, just trying to get to work today. It's another Monday. Yesterday was very good, very slow. Didn't have too many people. And the ones that did come in, again, low quality, bottom of the barrel type people, but a lot less than what we've been seeing lately, especially on the weekends. So hopefully today we'll see a repeat performance. It is Monday though. We shall see. We shall see. In the meantime, FYI, we had a lot of this going on, not just yesterday, but over the past couple days. It's the beginning of the new year. People are getting new insurances, changing plans, adding features to their plans or whatnot, whatever. FYI, emergency room doctors are not meant to be primary physicians. Your primary doctor. Don't do that. If you come into the emergency room for anything, one of the first things the doctors and the nurses will tell you upon your discharge is follow up with your primary doctor. If you have insurance but do not have a primary doctor, find one. Best thing you can do, call up your insurance and ask them. Physicians in my area for primary care, take the insurance. Take your insurance. Not hard. I've told patients that many, many times. They ask me, how do I get a primary doctor? Simple. Easiest way forward, most effective way to find if it takes your insurance is to ask your insurance. They have an always up-to-date list of doctors that are in their network. Always. They're the ones that know. Call them up and ask them, are there any doctors in my area that take this? And they will give you names, addresses, phone numbers, the whole yards. Then all you got to do is call up the office and make an appointment. Or since you have their name, Google them. Research. Do they have high reviews? Are they an effective physician? Are they well liked by the community? These are things that you can look up. The internet is a very powerful tool. And when used effectively, you can literally find out just about anything. So you call up the doctor's office and set up an appointment and see how soon can they get you in. It being the beginning of the year might be a little tough in some cases, but it's a lot better than constantly going to the emergency room. The emergency room copays can be $100, $200 more, and that's not including the doctor's fees, which can be even more. Primary physician fees, office visits, can be very low. Definitely lower than a visit to the ER by a lot. So yeah, by all means, get a primary doctor. Having an emergency issue, that's a different story. By all means, go to the ER. But if you're not having an emergency, go see a regular doctor. It's not going to kill you to go see a regular stinking doctor. I have a primary doctor. I haven't seen him in a while. But then again, I don't have any health issues that would warrant me visiting my primary doctor. I am healthy. I eat well. I exercise. Take vitamins. And I don't do stupid things that land me in an ER. Haha. And if I don't end up in the ER, then I don't have to follow up with my primary. See how that works? It's like a big circle. So get yourself a primary doctor. If one has of a wait before you can see them, call around. Especially if you live in a metropolitan city like, I don't know, literally the entirety of Miami-Dade, which is literally a city the size of a county. Anywhere in Broward County, I personally have no problem driving at upwards of 30 minutes to get to my primary doctor. They don't necessarily need to be around the corner. It's not like you see them that often anyway, unless you have some sort of pre-existing condition that requires regular visits, regular checkups of that nature. But if not, then it's perfectly all right to find yourself a doctor that is a bit of a trip away from you. Not going to kill you to drive a little bit to get to your primary doctor, whether they're within the same city or maybe even the next city or even next county over. So by all means, do not use the emergency room as your regular doctor. Don't do that. Because you're just going to rack up unnecessary medical debt that is literally going to cripple you for the future. Don't do that. I don't visit an ER for anything short of I'm actually dying. And that's only happened like once or twice. For everything else, Either self-medicate or go see a primary doctor, a regular general practice doctor. Because it's not going to kill you, really. You go see a doctor, they'll prescribe or order necessary tests to assist you in figuring out what's wrong, especially if it's not a life-threatening disease. You know, you got an ache that's chronic. Okay, they might send you off for an X-ray, a CT, MRI. They might prescribe blood work. That's a big one too. Primary doctors are notorious for ordering blood work. And you get these exams done, and then those results are then sent to your primary doctor, who then follows up with you and tells you, hey, come on back, or if you have no problem, discuss the results over the phone. Which some people have no problem. I personally have discussing test results over the phone with my doctor, because at the end of the day, I don't care either way. Just let me know what's wrong and what can we do to fix it. There are plenty of people that show up into my ER using the emergency room as a primary care location. That is not what the ER is for, hence the name, emergency room. Don't do that. And if you need help finding a doctor, call up your insurance. That's step number one. If you have insurance, call your insurance. They're the first ones and best ones to tell you, hey, this doctor is on our plan, this doctor on our plan, this doctor that has an office 5 minutes for you is not on our plan. Okay. If you do not have insurance, there are still doctors that you can pay out of pocket for that will still see patients without insurance. Google is your friend. Yeah, it might, cost a little bit, but it's a lot better than getting $1,000 bill, $2,000 bill from the ER, or God forbid you wait till the last minute till whatever issue you have going on becomes life-threatening, and then you end up in the ER anyway. Lord knows if you're able to recover from it, or if there's any long-standing damage from waiting so long. Don't do that. Our society as a whole has this really, really, really nasty habit of being reactive or proactive. Let me explain. Going to an emergency room after waiting a long time with an issue that you've been having for a while, some sort of chronic issue, and waiting to the last moment to go to an emergency room when you're already at death's door is reactionary. Going to your primary doctor when the symptoms first appear is proactive. You get it, right? You want to get ahead of the issues, not react to them when they already become a life-threatening nuisance. It's always reactive, never proactive. We have to do a better job of getting ahead of things, or at least being able to foresee potential issues when it comes to decisions made. And especially in healthcare is a big one, because reactions cost more than proactions. Simple as that. If you get ahead of something and take care of it sooner, it won't become a life-threatening issue for you. It won't become a financial issue for you. And instead becomes something, hey, taken care of. Instead, it becomes oh crap, let me get to an emergency room because now I'm bleeding from places I'm not supposed to bleed from. But had you seen a doctor before all of that got to that point, they would have been able to find out, hey, via this blood test or via this X-ray, CT, MRI, or via whatever test that they did an ultrasound, even, we found this. We're going to prescribe you this so that you don't end up at death's door. That's being proactive, getting ahead of your conditions, whether it's one or many, before they become a life-threatening issue. Because again, you'll spend less proactive than being reactive. A lot less. And it won't hurt as much. You'll not waste any time. And in the long run, you'll be in a position to be healthier longer. And I'm not even a medical professional, but this is pretty much, basic level common knowledge 101. Get ahead of stuff. Take care of it beforehand, before it becomes a big enough issue that requires you to react to it in an extreme manner, that it just gets to the point of man, I should have done this sooner. I should have gone here sooner. Should have said that or done this. And if you do go see a primary doctor, whether you're paying out of pocket or it's insurance, do not hesitate. Do not feel embarrassed to ask questions. Whether it's something to do with you, whether it's physically or mentally. Don't feel bad. Don't feel embarrassed. Ask the questions, because it is better to know and have a professional be the one helping you than have this get to a point where you're literally grabbing straws and hoping somebody you talk to is an expert. It's green. Nobody's moving. Let's go, people. Come on. Idiots. Anyway. Ask the questions. Don't feel embarrassed. I'm not. Whenever I do see my doctor, I ask a bunch of questions. Is it all right to be feeling this? It is all right to feel this, to experience this. Could this be related to something else? Could it be related to something I'm already suffering from? Ask the questions. Because the only way you'll get help is if you have somebody who is a professional, someone who went to school for this, who studied the material, practice and practice and practice, who's experienced this many times over. They might not have an exact answer, but at least they'll be the best educated in terms of pointing you in the right direction toward a satisfactory answer to whatever going on in your life. Whether it be a physical ailment or a mental one. Because mental health is just as important as health. You've got to take care of what's in here just as much as what's in here. You have to. And the only way to do that is by talking to the doctors, asking the questions. Do not feel embarrassed, because I promise you, you are not the only one with the questions, with these issues. Whether it be something personal or something just off the wall, you just have a weird question and you wanted an answer to it. It's perfectly all right. That's what doctors are there for. The only way for them to know what's going on is if you talk to them. And asking questions is a great way for them to understand where you're coming from, because that gives them an avenue. Your questions tell them things just as much as it asks them things. Ask the questions, get the answers, or at least have them provide you guidance toward who does have the answers to your questions. Because that's the only way we're ever, any of us, are ever really going to get better. It starts with asking questions of your medical professionals, your primary doctors, your nurses. And I'm not talking about maybe the ones you know personally. I'm not talking about your cousins, your brothers, and uncles who are doctors or whatever. That's not what I'm asking about. Because they are family first before they are a doctor or anything else. Even if you were to sit down and ask, say, a cousin who happens to be a doctor, they're going to see you first as their family member, not as immediately as a patient. Hell, I don't even think you could see a family member who is in the medical field without there being some sort of conflict of interest or whatever. But either way, get on your health. Do not use the emergency room as a primary care facility. The emergency room doctor is not your primary doctor. Get a primary doctor. Whether it's through your insurance or you pay out of pocket, get one. Because that's exactly what the doctors are going to tell you in the ER. Follow up with your primary doctor. They're going to have the information. They're going to have a more complete history of what's going on with you, because they're the ones that you see more often, especially when it comes to little things. Go to them first. So, anyway, as you can see, I've arrived, took off the seatbelt, changed the glasses, getting ready to head in. So this is where we'll today's stream. We'll pick it up again tomorrow around the same time, 3:30ish. Again, I've been your driver / chauffeur, Darkness 30XX of the Black Hood Crew. Name is there in the corner. Again, follow along YouTube and Facebook at Black Hood Crew, BHC_Darkness 30XX, just like there, on Twitch, Twitter, and Steam, as well as catch me on TikTok. I'm always posting dumb stuff there to make people laugh. And until next time, have a great day and be excellent to each other.